Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to a Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In honor of Women's Entrepreneurship Day, a global celebration held annually on November 19th to recognize and amplify the achievements of women entrepreneurs, we spotlight the innovators who are redefining industries and building a more sustainable, inclusive future. In that spirit, today's Going Deep segment, brought to you by CO2Lift, honors two powerhouse women at the forefront of science-backed beauty, regenerative wellness, and female-led innovation. Joining us is founder and CEO Lana Kerr, a clinical innovator, multi-business owner, author, and public speaker with over 2 decades of experience. Lana's groundbreaking work led to the creation of CO2Lift by Lumisk Skincare, the first clinically proven gel carboxytherapy, a category-defining treatment that bridges the gap between medical aesthetics and skin health. And joining us is Dr. Heather Brennan, newly appointed president of Lumisk and CO2Lift as of this October 2025, with more than 20 years of leadership in women's health, biomedical engineering, and regenerative aesthetics. Dr. Brennan has served as vice president and general manager at MTF's Biologics Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery franchise, and as a general manager global markets for Establishment Labs, where she helped expand access to cutting-edge medical technologies for women worldwide. Together, these two women embody the essence of Women's Entrepreneurship Day, merging scientific innovation, global vision, and purpose-driven leadership to empower confidence, healing, and longevity. They're going to join me right now to explore CO2Lift's next evolution, Dr. Brennan's new leadership chapter, and the deeper conversation around what it means to lead with both heart and science. Welcome to the show, superstars.
Thank you, Zen. It's good to be here.
Thank you, Zen.
Dr. Brennan, welcome to the family.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
So I'm going to start with you. The global medical aesthetics market, you know better than anyone, has grown into a $65 billion industry with a clear shift towards regenerative and non-invasive treatments, those that stimulate the body's own healing mechanisms rather than simply making aging, right? So CO2Lift has been one of those rare brands to straddle both worlds, clinically validated yet accessible, rooted in both biotechnology and beauty. You stepped into your role as president at a very pivotal moment for the company as it continues to set the standard in skin health, intimate wellness, and age management. What excites you most about where CO2Lift is headed, and how do you see your leadership shaping its next chapter?
You know, what excites me the most is the technology. That's first and foremost. I've been in the space a very long time, and to find a technology that really sets up its own category and is effective, incredibly effective, creates a platform, is simple to use, harnesses the body's own ability to perform and regenerate as it normally would, is really game-changing. Second, what attracted me is the woman that is sitting here and sharing the stage with me today. I mean, there's no way not to love Lana Kerr when you meet her. Her vision and excitement and passion around the brand, but also around women's wellness and how we bridge that gap between science and clinical and women's wellness and patient care really just it inspired me and inspires me every day. In terms of my leadership, you know, I think what I'm here to do is really take this amazing, beautiful foundation that's been set by Lana and team, which is incredible, by the way, and really work to scale. We are on a growth trajectory at this company like no other. And it's time to really think about how we bring this technology into more spaces, really globalize the technology. And I'm hoping I can be a piece of that or a part of that and help the technology grow and scale, and also really leverage my science and clinical background to help bridge that sort of science and patient care gap, which Lana has already put the company on a position or in a great position to do.
Boom, bring it home, baby. I love how you frame innovation, not just as newness, but as a disciplined evolution. And it's clear that with your scientific and strategic background, you're going to usher in a truly elevated era for the brand. I have no doubt. Now, Lana, you've led CO2Lift through every phase: ideation, formulation, global distribution. And now this expansion signals a new horizon for Lumisk's ecosystem. As founder and CEO, you've built Lumisk Skincare and CO2Lift from the ground up. So what inspired you to bring Dr. Heather Brennan on board, and what strengths do you believe she brings that complement your own?
Oh my goodness. First of all, this is so emotional for me right now, just to have Heather here. It's truly a vision that I had in my mind to have a woman like Heather. But what had really inspired me to bring Dr. Brennan on was just that I wanted someone who could match passion with precision. She brings a deep scientific and clinical understanding that perfectly complements my creative and entrepreneurial drive. I've always led with vision and innovation, and she grounds that with data, with structure, with credibility. And I feel together, we're going to bridge the art and science together. My focus is more on storytelling and brand mission, and hers ensures that everything we do is backed by real regenerative science. So that's what I think she brings. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the company grows with her involvement and her leadership.
I love that. It's such a powerful example of female founders recognizing synergy over ego. Now, Dr. Brennan, your background in biomedical engineering and regenerative aesthetics is fascinating because it reflects the future of beauty, where form meets function and biology meets empowerment, so to speak, right? And studies in the Aesthetics Surgery Journal show that regenerative therapies, those that improve cellular oxygenation and collagen production, enhance skin elasticity up to 45% within 30 days, underscoring exactly how the science can quite literally rewrite the skin story, right? So with your extensive experience guiding global organizations at the intersection of science and patient-centered care, how does your background and personal mission, more importantly, align with CO2Lift? And how do you plan to continue expanding innovation and elevating that global education?
Yeah, I think it's really funny if I sit back and think about being here in this role, it almost feels like it was written for me, that this was so meant to be. And I completely believe that. It couldn't align more with both my personal mission and my background, right? It is the perfect marriage of the two. This is a women-founded, women-led company. We have an all-female senior leadership team in our commercial organization. That's not, that's still pretty rare and unique, even in this space. So that makes me incredibly proud. My personal mission, not only to lead with strong women and really embrace women's health and enable that women's health gap between science and health to really be closed, is just, it's right. It's in my heart. It's right in my personal mission. Professionally, my background and experience, I think, is fully aligned. And my goal is to really continue, like I said, what this organization has done so far in terms of science and clinical, that's the beauty. Lana had this vision that she knew that we needed this particular technology to be science-backed and clinically backed. And so I am very excited to continue to build on that science, on the clinically based validation around this technology, and really enhance what carboxytherapy can do in the world.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that holistic blend of science and education and accessibility is exactly what modern women are looking for. It's empowerment through evidence, really, because we do our research and we're not putting treatments on our face that don't add up. So the clinical
Absolutely.
verification and the research and all the hard work, the data collection, I've witnessed this firsthand. It's nothing like I've ever seen. And I've interviewed many, many top tier companies in the aesthetic world. And this is just CO2Lift stands completely on its own. Now, Lana, carboxytherapy has an extraordinary legacy. First used in 1932 at the Royal Spa in France to treat circulatory disorders, it now has evolved into one of the most studied modalities in regenerative medicine. CO2Lift revolutionized this century-old science by literally creating a topical delivery system that mimics the same oxygenation process safely, effectively, and without injections. That's a leap from clinical innovation to consumer empowerment right there. You've built CO2Lift from an idea into a trusted professional and this consumer brand now. What do you think has been the key to earning credibility in a space that's often oversaturated with trends and quick fixes?
Well, you said it, and Heather just said it in her answer previously, but the key really has been staying rooted in science and results and not marketing. From day one, we focused on clinical validation, physician partnership, and transparency. We really never follow trends. We created something new that actually works, as you mentioned, and stands the test of time. People trust CO2 Lift because it delivers consistent, visible results, and it's supported by real data and education. That integrity, doing what we say and proving it, is really what builds our credibility.
Yeah, that's a refreshing reminder that true credibility doesn't come from marketing. You just said it. It's earned through consistency, clinical validation, and results people can feel and see. So you're right. Now, Dr. Brennan, beyond technology, CO2 Lift stands out because it embraces what many experts call the whole person approach, recognizing that wellness is multidimensional. And with over 75% of aesthetic patients now identifying emotional well-being as part of their motivation, it's clear that mental health, hormonal balance, and skin vitality are deeply interconnected. So beyond your scientific expertise, you're also a vocal advocate for holistic and women's wellness. Your experience in mental and behavioral health initiatives brings an important whole person perspective to CO2 Lift's mission. Now, as a woman leading in the aesthetic space, how do you hope to expand CO2 Lift's impact in advancing women's health, not just through skincare, but through overall wellness and empowerment?
While I would say that this product and this technology, of course, is not just about skin health, I do think that in general, as a society, we underestimate the importance of skin health. I mean, skin health and wellness is so important. This is the largest organ. You hear it, it's so cliche. It's the largest organ in our body. The microbiome of our skin is incredibly important. Health and wellness really starts on the outside with the skin. And that is incredibly important. That being said, this particular product is far more than that, right? This product is about making women and men, but making women feel good about themselves, to gain confidence, to really feel good in their own skin, right? No pun intended. And so I think from head to toe, what I want to do and my goal and what I want to see for this brand is to continue to expand into areas that are really, really impactful for women, areas like breast cancer survivorship, post-mastectomy breast reconstruction, which is an area very close to my heart and experience. I think the product itself has the ability to really be life-changing, and we want to see that continue and happen.
That's such an empowering approach because it's not just self-care, right? It's self-respect backed by science. And I love that your mission goes far beyond the mirror. It's important. Now, Lana, you've built CO2 Lift into something that transcends the skincare category. It's become a global movement. What do you define as success for CO2 Lift, and what legacy do you hope it leaves in the aesthetics and wellness space?
Yes. Well, success for me is really seeing CO2 Lift transform how people think about skin and self-care. Really shifting from covering up to truly regenerating. Our legacy will be proving that science, beauty, and wellness can work together with integrity. And I want CO2 Lift to be remembered as a brand that elevated the standard, one that empowered people to heal, to age gracefully, and to feel confident from the inside out.
All right. Well, we are at the end of our date, my dear friends. Lana, is there something you want to add to the conversation before we sign off?
I think you've handled this really well. I love the questions. I love Heather. I am so grateful for this moment. And I'm just excited about what is to come. So thank you.
Oh, there's a lot to come. We are at the end of this interview. That was the incredible Lana Kerr, CEO and founder of CO2 Lift and Lumisk Skincare, and Dr. Heather Brennan, president of Lumisk. To learn more, you could visit CO2Lift.com and be sure to follow them on the gram at CO2 Lift, at the Lana Kerr with 2 R's, and at Heather_Brennan 0828. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. That was the Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2 Lift. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Xen is brought to you by CO2 Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2 Lift. CO2 Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase in luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance.
For more information or to order CO2 Lift, ask your skincare professional
professional or go to CO2Lift.com.